What's up, YouTube? Welcome to season 3 of the Grist Family Podcast, where we talk about friendships, love, Christ, and everything in between. My name is Kimra. This is my husband, Greg. We're so glad you guys joined us today to talk about attraction.
Attractions, y'all. Some of y'all attracted to the right things, but some of y'all not. Gotta hit them with the point. Some of y'all deserve the point and the look.
We missed you guys.
I know. We took a little hiatus, but we're back.
Yeah.
And we're excited for this season because
Back in action.
we got some extra things coming up, man. For real.
Yeah.
Season 2 kind of went by, and it went quick, but
I felt like it did. I don't know.
It went quick, but there was a lot of busy times in our lives, and there was some vacationing and a lot of
True that.
a lot of
It's the summer, you know.
Yeah, it's the summer. So sometimes the summer, in a weird way, gets busy in some ways and not busy in others. But
yeah,
for us, it was a little bit busy. But we're excited to open up season 3, finish out the summer, and going into the fall.
Yeah, our favorite season.
Oh,
in Florida.
Love it. Well, fall is still summer.
It's our favorite season, I think, everywhere.
Yeah, fall
Maybe
is
like
definitely my favorite season everywhere.
North Dakota or something like that.
I mean, being from New Jersey, I love the fall. Like every fall was like my favorite time of the year. I mean, obviously, I didn't care. I was excited to go back to school a little bit, but I wasn't like, it was more about the season. The fall was about the holidays, and especially when you're up there, you get to see the trees. It has an effect on you that you don't realize you have until you come to a place like Florida that just don't have no seasons.
We have palm trees.
We got summer and summer-ish. That's pretty much it. And then we get this like cold snap for like 3 weeks.
2 weeks.
Where it'll hit like maybe 50 degrees and that's it.
No
40,
snow. No
40,
snow.
50 degrees and that's it. No snow. At least not down here.
Not way down here.
Yeah. So we're excited. We're excited for the next phase.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. So we are here talking about attractions today because
some of y'all just get in relationships because y'all are attracted to people.
Yeah, some of y'all.
But we got to know the definition of attraction.
Right. Yeah. Some of y'all don't know what you really should be attracted to.
Yeah.
What you really should be looking at.
Yeah.
Because attraction. Because when most people think of attraction, they're thinking of the
looks.
I think they think of the looks, but I think anyone with a brain also knows that attraction isn't just the look. It's not just the appearance.
No,
but
no.
I mean, some of y'all definitely just looking at the appearance. Y'all don't care what's inside. Y'all just be looking at it. They be like, oh, she fine. Oh, he look good.
Let me holler.
Yeah, let me holler. Yeah. Y'all all about the exteriors. But nah, it's deeper than that. And I mean, how you're attracted to somebody is important. Like, how attractive somebody is important, but is attraction just the outward and this kind of, the glow, as we call it, as you may call it, the glow? Does that person have the glow, that aura, that shine? And is that everything? And so we're here to talk about that today. So let's talk about looks versus attraction, because obviously we know that, just like I say, anyone with a brain knows that, attraction is not just how somebody looks. You're fine, babe.
Thanks,
you
babe.
Fine, girl.
Am I?
All right.
Even with this nice voice, hoarse voice.
A little bit hoarse. Yeah, it's a little bit hoarse. Yeah. So anybody with a brain knows that, attraction is more than just how somebody looks. So obviously, like breaking down looks, you're attracted to their physical appearance, whether it be their smile, whether it be their style, like how they dress, how they present themselves. All of those kind of fall under the look. But then I feel like the attraction is more of the side that it's like everything as a package. So if you ask me what the difference is, I feel like the difference between like your looks versus your attraction is like basically your attraction is like
the
whole package, whereas the looks is a very
just one
kind
thing.
of specific thing. Yeah,
I agree. Yeah, I agree with that, because attraction, like we're gonna be talking about, is like more than just looks. It can also be personality, like you were saying, and just the way people are to other people, and all that. So that, yeah, I definitely agree with attraction being the whole package of a person, and then looks are just looks.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you should not probably go off your looks to date somebody.
Yeah.
Because you might be disappointed sometimes.
I mean, you definitely want to.
Sometimes you might get it right. I don't know, but.
Yeah, you definitely want to present yourself not because you're just trying to impress that person, but because you want to be the best version of you. You want to be confident in yourself, and not that your looks make up your confidence. Absolutely not. It's actually the other way around. You're confident in yourself, so therefore you want to present yourself look good because you know you look good. You know you're a good person. You know you're a good person inside out. Mm-hmm. So when I put my my best thing in my closet on, I know it's because I'm a good person, and I know I look good, and I think it looks good on me. You can ask her. Mm-hmm. There's some things that she don't like that I wear that I'm like, I don't care. I ain't trying to.
I'll be like, really?
I don't care.
We gonna do
like
that today?
I want her to like my outfits and my whole style from start to finish, but that's not always the case, and that's okay. If y'all married, or even if you're not married, that's okay. Like, they should be able to see past just that. So
I do all the time. I'm just kidding. No, you actually have pretty good style. So
I mean, like, I'm here to listen. Y'all should know that it's not just like that person that you're either trying to get with, or you are with, or you even married to. It shouldn't be about satisfying their every desire, as certainly as far as the how you present yourself, because it's your style. Like, they need to accept you for you, all because
you don't dress for the person, you dress for yourself.
Right. Exactly. Boom. You dress for yourself, and you just say, you dress for the man and the man or the woman in the mirror, and you just say, I look good, y'all. I look good.
Lick your eyebrows.
I look good. Right. Because back in the day, your mama used to lick their fingers and get your eyebrows, because something about your eyebrows ain't right.
They gotta be straight. Oh my gosh.
Oh man. So so the next thing we're gonna kind of ask is, I'm gonna ask you, babe. So can relationships last that started off as just attraction?
Yeah. I say yes because it all depends on the couple. If they decide to go deeper into what a meaning of a relationship is, and do the work that it takes to have a proper relationship that grows, then yes. But if they're just gonna stay on that attraction, then no.
No, it wasn't a trick question. Absolutely. Like, you can absolutely have a relationship that lasts, that starts off with, where you honest with yourself, and you say, honestly, they got me because they were attractive. But then once you get to that place, then you start asking yourself, well, why are they attractive? And then, wait, what?
I said that's what happened with us.
No,
I'm just kidding.
I'm like, what you talking about? No, our relationship started off deeper than that, but we were in a different place, y'all. So don't feel. I mean, like, we ain't shunning nobody, but don't feel bad. Like, if it starts off that way, just know that you guys can thrive and have success in your relationship.
Absolutely, yeah.
Without the even though it started off with attraction, and the reason why is because you can ask yourself later on and say, dang, you know what? I could honestly say, like, I got with her, or ladies, you can say I got with him because he looked good and he got me, or she got me, with them looks. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with admitting that. But then you have to always continue to ask yourself,
why
should I stay? Why should I stay in this relationship? Like what is this relationship fulfilling for me? And does it line up with the goals that I'm trying to make? Does this person line up with my foundation? Because, something you'll always hear from us is the success in marriage is about not just loving each other and choosing each other, but loving God and having God at the center. So, that's the recipe that makes up successful marriage or successful relationship, period. Mm-hmm. And the rest is just about you choosing each other every single day, making that choice. Because there's something about, like, don't make your relationship built on this idea that because you fell in love with them, you have to stay with them. So because you fall in love with them because you're attracted to them, as because we mentioned attraction is more than just your look. So attraction is the smile, it's the personality, it's your style, it's a lot of things. So
your vibe,
that's your style. I mean, your vibe, your style.
I'm trying to use hip words, babe. Hip words.
We're not hip, babe. We're gonna draw the line right in the sand.
Baby.
We're not hip. See, people. First of all, people that are hip don't say they're hip. Okay, so right off the bat, the people already know. They already know. Like, so just
I don't care.
I mean, you're hip. Okay.
No.
You're hip. All right.
You're hip.
You're the right now. I want you to know right now, you're the Progressive commercial, okay?
No.
You're the one with that put the thing in the freezer and tried to freeze. Anyway.
Obviously, you watch too much TV.
Listen, when you're married and you got kids, you just find yourself connecting with certain commercials and certain things. And that's where it be. That's all it is. So next is infatuation versus in love. What is infatuation, babe? I know. What's funny is when I wrote
Shout
that.
out to my friend Shayna.
Yeah.
Y'all should check her out.
What's up, Shayna? She got some dope music, y'all. Find her on Spotify. That's so funny because that's the song. That's literally what I was thinking. It was a part of the topic, and it made me literally start singing that song. Yeah. Her song, anyway.
I know. Every time.
Infatuation. So what is infatuation?
So I would actually, okay, I'm gonna tell you, I cheated and I looked the definition up or whatever, and it said basically that infatuation is where you're obsessed with something for a short period of time. Mm-hmm. And like you're overly obsessed with it, like to the point where like it can't get out your mind, but it's for a short period of time. So I was like, that's interesting.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, like, not knowing the definition, like I would have, or not realizing what the definition was I would have definitely agree with that. I just didn't think that it put emphasis on short period. Yeah. So
me neither. That's why I looked it up. And I was like, oh.
That's why y'all better read your dictionary.
Interesting.
Right next to the Bible app in your phone, y'all need to have the dictionary.
Is it still
app.
Webster?
Well, there's all kinds. There's Ralph Webster. There's all kind of dictionaries. What I'm trying to tell y'all
is your Google page.
What I'm trying to tell y'all is right next to the Bible app, y'all need the dictionary app because they go hand in hand.
They do.
For real. They go hand in hand.
Yes, you have to always
have
that.
A little folder in the folder. My
Bible folder.
My folder is called the sword. Because the Bible is the sword.
Ain't you special?
No, it's just the Bible is the sword. Literally, the whole armor of God.
But mine is just
the word of God is the sword. So that's why.
I feel quite a while because mine is just Bible.
You gotta make it personal, babe.
I did make it personal. It's Bible.
It's not personal.
Anyway,
okay. So infatuation. I mean, I definitely agree with that statement that infatuation is this kind of I would say it's aggressive. It's overwhelming. It's obsessive. It's anxious. It's all these kinds of things that like basically imply that it's like you have no control over, basically. So it's like this feeling, this uncontrollable feeling that you can't, and it causes you to act certain ways and be certain people, be a certain way.
I guess so.
Yeah, it makes you, it makes you start coming up with breakup mixtapes, and you start having all kind of,
the old 90s.
You start doing a lot of stuff you shouldn't be doing. Yeah. So so compare that to versus being in love. Like, because in a lot of ways, somebody in love, or can somebody in love act like that?
I don't think so. And the reason why is because I look at it the way that Jesus describes love, and love is unconditional. It is forever. Like it never ends. And it's just because when I hear the word infatuation, I hear obsessiveness, you can't, it's more controlling. It sounds like it's like a controlling thing versus an actual, I'm doing this, out of my own will or whatever and stuff like that. So, the Bible talks about being controlled by things, which is called an idol. So I feel like an infatuation with something can become an idol, is an idol.
So let me ask you something then, because if somebody's in a relationship and they're with somebody who they think might be infatuated with them, but they're also doing everything they ask, they're clearly showing affection towards them. How does they know what the difference is? Because
because you're saying the person is doing everything the other person's asking, or
just meaning they set up, they're really good at creating, being creative, setting up dates, and can a person who's infatuated have those same qualities that a person in love can be?
Me personally, I don't think so. Only because I feel like the infatuation is short-lived, meaning that it's just a convenience versus an actual, I'm doing this because I desire to do it, or what am I trying to say? I'm willing to do it or whatever because I love this person or whatever. Whereas infatuation, I feel like, is like you're doing something because it's almost like you're just kind of possessed in doing it, and stuff like that. So I just feel like when you're possessed, like you're not in control of your body. Like you're doing something that controls you. I don't know.
No, I agree. I was just being I was
trying to dig a deeper.
I was trying to critical challenge you, into that way, because I don't think somebody who is infatuated is capable of doing or being in love, and I think that they're capable of doing a lot of loving things, but I don't think that I think that you'd be able to tell.
Well, they're doing it. I feel like the people who are infatuated, they're doing it because that's what they've learned, versus I'm doing this because I love this person. It's just like, oh, I know I'm supposed to pick up my husband's clothes off the floor if he forgets to put them in the laundry basket, or just different things like that. Like,
I don't even think it's
maybe
just
not
that.
a husband. That's a
like,
bad example, but
I think that they're just so obsessive that it's an obsession out of fear. That's what I think. I think infatuation is an obsession out of fear that they're afraid of losing that person. So they will do anything or whatever
to keep
but
that person,
it comes off different. So like it can definitely be kind of like masked, because I've certainly have been in a relationship where I believe the person was infatuated with me. I ain't bragging, y'all. I'm just saying.
Really?
I've definitely been in a relationship where somebody was infatuated, and then I've also been a victim of infatuation myself. So, and I actually only have like one particular person I could think of that I was infatuated with, and but you know what? Now that I think about it, it was very short-lived.
It left you broken, probably.
But it wasn't just short-lived because it kind of, because it did end. It ended pretty abruptly, and maybe that had a lot to do with it being an infatuation. But yeah, like it ended abruptly, but it also like it hurt obviously, but then even though it hurt real bad, it went away and I got over it pretty quickly. Yeah. So it was, like, I mean, I guess that
because it was just, oh, this is a pretty girl or whatever. So, and she's interested in me, you know, or we're dating or whatever the case may be. I'm talking about your situation or whatever. So you're like, oh yeah, I got this pretty girl, you know, but you never looked at the deeper level of that person, you know, and it was just that
you're just
surface.
Like it's this obsession like that they're gonna move on to the next person real quick, and a lot of times I think that also has a lot to do with how you all started too. So if you start fast, you're gonna end fast. So there's a good chance if you start fast, you're gonna end real fast. You start slow and you're likely gonna do better. You know, it doesn't mean that you're gonna be in
there's a difference between fast too, because I mean our relationship, we kind of were pretty quick with everything that we did, but like ours was intentional.
There you go. See, now we skipping
so you gotta
ahead.
be fast and intentional.
I ain't gonna lie. Okay, that wasn't on the notes, but I was gonna say we skipping ahead, but it just sounded good. It sounded good to say we were skipping ahead, but it wasn't in my notes. But so like we were intentional. So even though if you look at our time span and it was quickly, we moved fairly quickly by most people's standards. You know, we knew exactly what we were looking for, and you know, really us getting together was years and years and years of dating and being single.
Understanding what we wanted.
So it's not even the fact that we look at it like we've been, you know, we moved quickly. It was just like we went years. You know, I was like 28 or 29 when we got together, and then
you were 28.
I was 28. Met. And you were 30, and
tell my age.
Well, the people gotta know. I got
whatever.
I got an old one. I ain't gonna say the word.
I ain't old.
No, you're not old.
I'm young. I'm younger than you. in my abilities.
Wait a minute. Okay.
that went
way over. All right. Anyhow, we're gonna move on from that one quickly.
Oh my gosh.
No, that was good. Mm-hmm. So the next thing we have is, do opposites truly attract?
Opposites, they can. I mean, but I don't believe.
Well, what does that even mean?
So I don't believe like that. That's the only way. Like if that makes sense. Like I don't believe that every couple in the world is only opposite of each other, because there are some couples. Of
course not. Yeah,
I don't know off the top of my head, but I know that I've seen couples that were the same, and it's just like they work together, but you know.
And I mean, and the thing is that, and I'm kind of here to say yes, but my answer is yes and no. The reason why I say yes and no is because, for one, there's no such thing as a same person. Even when two people have a same personality, they're
still different. Yeah,
they have a same kind of approach or personality in life.
Yeah.
They doesn't mean that they're the same, because they're gonna have very different qualities.
Absolutely,
on the outside. Anyway, so like on the inside, and they're gonna do and like other things. So it's not like people are like 100% the same. Like obviously. So in that, but if we understand that going in, I think it positions us easier to say, okay, well, then there's obviously no such thing, so that we're all different, even when we're very alike in a lot of ways. So that's why I say no. Because there's no such thing, but yes, because a lot of times we do subconsciously become attracted to, without realizing it, a person that has very different qualities to you.
Yeah.
I don't even know if science has ever figured that out, or if the study of the mind has ever actually figured that out of why, but you know, a lot of people will tell you, and it's just kind of one of those things that's just, It's true because many people have experienced can basically say, yeah, it's true because they can honestly, not just because they say it for the sake of saying it, because they can honestly say like, yeah, like my husband or wife or they, you know, my spouse is
quiet,
very different from me, but I like that about them. And I've literally heard people say that. So it's not like this, you know. So
if we want to be devil's advocate or whatever, like I would say probably the reason why people like to say opposites always attract is because people, you know, like you were saying, the quiet versus, you know, more louder person or whatever, it kind of balances out that, because if you have two loud people, it can get overwhelming, you know,
overstimulated. You get overstimulated real quick
and stuff like that. So I think like naturally, like, because as humans we can get a lot overstimulated. So that was a double.
Yeah, we don't use that word. Just you were just playing advocate. Other advocate.
So I think if that's the reason why people say opposites attract.
Yeah. I thought I was gonna have more to say about that, but I don't. Sometimes it's just that simple.
Because I'm the type of person, I don't believe in a lot of those. They say this, they say that.
Check out our episode on season 2, y'all, about they sayers.
Although he would probably beg to differ, because I'm always the superstition one.
Oh God, her whole family.
I'm like, oh, don't you pick up that penny?
Like, don't cross through, split the pole. I'm like, come on now. I'm like, if I didn't split the pole, I would have hit my leg on it or something, man.
You can't split
I needed to go around. I'm a big guy.
Unless it's a pole that's short.
No.
Yeah,
I'm going around it because it makes sense, because I don't want to I done slam my shoulder into stuff because I didn't try to split the pole. That's why you slam your shoulder, see? No, because I didn't split the pole. That's why. I'm splitting the pole if it makes sense to split the pole.
Anywho, your hand itch, you getting some money.
Man, my hand itch all the time, y'all. That's just nerve. That's just nerve pain. That's all. If you eat too much rich food, you got
your
nerve
nose
pain.
Itch, somebody coming.
Does anybody actually believe that nonsense? Nobody believe that nonsense, man. Y'all don't believe that nonsense.
It always happened. I'm telling you, my grandparents used to always say it, and every time it
always
happened.
The country people,
y'all.
It's always the country folks.
Trust and know.
It's all right. I love you, country people. It's always the country. Everybody got a little bit of country in them. I love you, but it's always y'all talking about some superstition.
We don't mess around.
See. Anyway.
Anywho.
I have a question. Have you ever stayed in a relationship because you were attracted to them?
Stayed in a relationship because I was attracted to them. I guess I would say yeah, but because we found out the definition of attraction is attraction. Let me get the word right.
Yeah, speak it out. Hold on, y'all. There's something about when you got kids. It's something we realizing right now. Listen,
we got parent brain all the time.
Yeah, like if y'all ever know somebody who got kids and is married and got kids, and they just kind of like their words just drop off the face of the earth in the middle of their sentence, and you're just like, wait, what? Just know worry. You'll understand one day. You'll understand one day.
It'll come back some way.
Yeah,
somehow.
The words just got to come back to you, and they don't hit you right away, and they don't fall into place right away.
Especially when you're trying to discipline your kid, especially and you're trying to tell them something, and it's funny because of what they did was wrong, but it was funny.
Right, but it'd be funny because we secretly be trying
not to laugh.
It's hard, y'all. Sometimes,
oh my gosh, it's hard.
We be trying hard to like, but then you gotta laugh because. The way they just do stuff is just so like
really?
It's like, what? Like, why would you even do it like that? Like,
anywho, okay, so back to my question or the question. So since we've learned the definition of attraction, then yes, I would say I have stayed in relationships because I was attracted to somebody, because I a lot of my relationships.
And hold on, and I'm gonna give you a hint of the next question so it may help you. It may help you answer this question.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask you the same thing, but for looks next.
Okay.
So just have you stayed with somebody because you were attracted to them?
Yes.
And then have you stayed with somebody because of their looks?
No.
Okay, so finish your.
Okay. So I've stayed with somebody for attraction because I liked the person's personality. I liked how they were with my friends and, and stuff like that. And of course their looks were in there, but it wasn't, the looks weren't the only thing. So that's why I said, no, I have never stayed with somebody because of their looks, because there's so many other fish out in the sea that you don't have to worry about. That's what my mindset
true,
was.
but believe it or not, there's people that don't go. When you're infatuated, you don't care. Like, ain't nobody else for you except that person.
One person.
You ready to commit? Like, you're like, I need that person.
Yeah.
And it's not a fun place to be.
I never stay for looks, but attraction, yes.
Yeah, and when I say stay, I mean like, for a period of time. Stay
longer than you should have stayed.
Yeah, just like you thought about it, and you're like, and you find yourself a few months down the line, you're still with that person, and it's just like, okay.
I didn't have a lot of long relationships though either. Like my longest one was probably, before you, it was 2 years. So.
Yeah, well that's long. I mean, that's long by today's standards. 2-year relationship without being like married or engaged, that's a long time, especially from what I hear.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I'm not single no more. I feel bad for the single people.
Yes. Man.
I feel bad for y'all.
Sorry, guys.
I hear the stories and I'm just like, nope.
Just stand
I'm just
firm
like, nope,
on your
not because there's not good people, but because it's
on your
society
beliefs.
makes it very, very hard. It's made, and we thought it was hard on us, like the current society. And I'm not talking about your age. I'm talking about just the current way of dating, the current way of, get you a church girl, man. Go to church and find you the right one. You'll find her. I promise you, you'll find her. Same thing. You'll find your man at church. He gonna be serving. Yeah, you'll find him.
You on the usher
find a man
board.
who's serving. Yeah. And you'll find the right man. You find a man that serves, and you'll find the right man. I promise you.
Yeah.
That's for somebody. I'm serious.
And then you serve too. Like if you haven't found anybody serving, then you start serving, and you'll meet more people.
Right. Yeah. You just get out there. That's the best way to be social.
Yeah.
Is to get out there.
Don't ever go to a church,
serve people,
and say nobody was inviting, and you ain't even start trying to get involved. I ain't trying to condemn people, but like first get involved.
No,
meet
that's just
people.
Speaking the truth. That's not. Yeah, that's just like
first get involved.
Yeah,
meet
get
people.
Involved if you.
And then you'll see, if it's for you and if it's not. So
ask around. Don't be shy.
All
right, y'all. So the next one is going to be, how does culture affect how we view what's attractive?
That's funny. Well, because it happens on all sorts of shows, the reality shows and, different things like that. And what culture, society has told you it looks good or whatever. They say, wear these type of jeans because the skinny jeans are not in anymore. It's the wide leg jeans. And so this makes your body look this way and it's better. And people like this, people like the big butts.
So apart from, okay, so you mentioned a few different qualities of attraction. So you mentioned fashion, like as far as your style, and then you mentioned, body shape, those are two things that, so like, what are all of them? Like, what are all of the qualities of attraction? And then how would you say society has shaped how we view each of those?
They just like in like I said, like shows, they'll teach you, like they'll show a relationship on a show, and they'll show, oh, this is the way a relationship be by telling the story of those characters or whatever and stuff like that. And they'll say, and it'll play out so beautifully because it's Hollywood. They write good stuff or whatever, and so it's a good example would be like romantic comedies or like the Christmas movies that like we like to watch, babe, like where they have the girl meets boy and then there's a something happens and then in the end she goes with the other guy that we thought she wasn't going to go with because he was the better guy for her, and we thought she was going to go with the popular guy, but she ended up with the homely guy.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, that's a sweet story. And so then we build all these stories in our head. At least women, I know for a fact women do, because I used to do that. I used to watch all those Christmas shows and stuff like that. So I would build all these stories in my head of how relationships should be and stuff like that. And then you start trying to reenact that in your real life, and it's not true. Not all of it. I mean, there's aspects of it, but
So yeah, you're definitely right, and we'll touch more on that side because like the entertainment industry is like it's mega, it's huge on as far as its influence on our. But let's think of something like not so ideal. Like let's think of like how because when you think of the word culture, you're just talking about a culture, not necessarily the entertainment culture or industry. But so like for instance, like how could a maybe if it's a religious culture, so like if it's if you go to a very like a denominational church, and they have the culture, they have a specific culture, and how does like just touch on that, like how can that also that's not affect your
well it so like I don't know specific denominations, but I do know there are denominations out there that have a lot of control, or I'm not going to name specific ones I've heard of, but I'm not going to name specific ones, but there's a lot of denominations that do try to control the types of relationships that you're involved in, and who, even to the point of, I was reading up on one today of who you should be married to and who you should be dating and stuff like that. And it's just like, really? Like, people actually do that in denominations, and stuff like that. So, so I would just say, like, in that sense, like, people try to control people on how they should be in relationships. And then once they're in a relationship, they might try to tell them, okay, you're supposed to, this is your role in the relationship and this is your role, and that's it. Like, there's no
very defined.
Yeah, there's no you can't change it up. Like, you're the wife and you're the husband, and you can't change the jobs in the marriage, type deal. So
yeah, I mean it. I would with that particular instance where it comes to like a religious thing, whether whether you be whether you're Christian or any other faith, what I will say is that how it could be different from like entertainment, whereas entertainment culture is it's flashy. So if you notice, they use a lot of and as somebody who works with a camera on a daily basis, like I understand how image composition and how it's used to basically like manipulate you, like in not necessarily in the most like
evil way.
In the evil way, just like literally like design. Like if you put certain things in the frame in this kind of a way, you're going to get a reaction. You're drawing their attention towards a specific thing. And it's and sometimes it's obvious, because the thing that they want you to see is really big in the frame, but then also sometimes it's really small, but they've allowed it to be the center focal point of, even though it's really small, and it tells a different part of the story. So like how those things shape your, they all affect how you view
your thoughts.
Yeah, how you view something. And when it comes to attraction, in a religious manner, they will obviously use the Bible, you know what I mean? Like, and they will try to use specific, they will take specific Bible verses and use those as a way to say this is how it should be done. And so those are the different, there's just different ways. So it made me, it's funny because like I don't really have a place I want to go with this. I just want to kind of acknowledge like, okay, like obviously like entertainment industry is like the big one, but then there's all these other cultures that are just not the entertainment industry or like what we listen to, as far as music and as far as movies and TV shows. I mean,
at the end of the day, it's like that's what culture is. Culture is it influences that community, Right. So whatever culture you belong to, you're gonna get influenced by that, what they practice, and stuff like that. So
if you give yourself to it,
if you give yourself to it, yeah,
but you can't,
or what you or if you choose it, choose to live that lifestyle or whatever the case may be. And I mean, I'm talking about culture in general, like not just
right,
specifics, but like multiple aspects of culture and stuff like that. So like,
I was having a conversation with somebody and we were talking about thoughts. We were talking about your thought life and how you can shape your thought life simply because you can accept and rebuke thoughts that come to your mind. And I think this is a huge thing to understand when it comes to attraction because, quite often we think that whatever thought comes to our mind is ours, and we somehow think that this is us, like this thought is a piece of us, and that could not be totally further from the truth. And quite often, there's good thoughts and there's bad thoughts, and I think many of us can disagree with that, but I think most people don't truly understand that there are thoughts that come to our mind that we don't have to accept. And I think about this because of one of my favorite verses where Jesus told the Pharisees, why do you think evil in your hearts? Like, why do you think evil? Because he heard what was in their mind. Whether you want to call it telepathy or whatever you want to call it, he supernaturally heard what was in their mind. And he said, why do you think evil thoughts of me? Like, why do you think evil thoughts? Why do you entertain evil thoughts? And what it told me is that there's a way to not entertain evil thoughts.
Oh yeah.
Because when I've always considered myself a pretty critical thinker, and the moment I hear stuff like that, the moment tells me that there's an opposite of that, which gave me ignited this hope in me that it made me hungry for more. Like, and all of this is super relative to your attraction because quite often, we are pushed images. And as somebody who literally composites images for a living, like we are pushed images across our screen constantly. And what many of those people who create those images know and understand is that repetition is a very powerful thing. The more you see something, the more opportunities you're going to have where you can say yes to it. Because at the end of the day, somebody, whether it's you're watching TV or you're watching a commercial, or whatever, or you're listening to music or whatever the culture is pushing at you, the culture understands that it can push it at you because eventually you can say yes to it. And see, the power that you need to take back is realizing that no matter how much of something I see, I have control over that because God said I have control over that. He gave us the power and the authority over that. So in our minds, whether you're, because I've literally have, I know people who have struggled with, people who are struggling with, sexual immorality and things like that, and they want to have a better life, but they're like, well, they've been honest with me and said things like, yo, but like, how do you, how do you just go to the beach, yo? Like, how do you not avoid going to the beach or going to the movies, or you're going to see somebody that is going to be attractive. Like, how do you do it? I'm like, well, the first thing you need to realize is that you can say no to that thought. And that's so, so important about our attraction. And you choose what you're attracted to. You choose that on a daily basis by saying no. Yeah. Only choose what God told you to choose. Only choose the fruits of the Spirit, the things that, and that's in the Bible. I'm gonna put it right here. But only choose those things, because and filter out, what happens to come across your vision, your eyesight, your windows, basically because your ears are like a window too. Your ears are a window and your eyes are a window. So whatever comes across your window, know how to filter that out by saying no. Simply no to that. That's literally, and that this kind of a conversation was the start of how we actually dated. And that's one of the reasons why we were so successful in the beginning, because we both understood that and we knew how to to kind of filter that out. And
because it's good. I mean, nowadays, like, there's a lot of things that are not censored, like, and it's the norm. So like, you might be thinking, oh, I'm watching a Disney movie, and I don't mean to shout out Disney like that, but whatever, a cartoon movie and stuff like that, and think it's like a little kid movie, but there's some things that might come across that you're like, oh, wait, this is not,
it's not appropriate.
And stuff like that. So but you can't just fall subject to that and just be like, okay, this is the way I'm going to think now. It's like, no, you have to take captive of that thought and say, okay, that is not what I believe. That is not of God. And I'm not going to accept that into my spirit. And then just if it's a movie that continues that way, then you might want to turn it off, or if you're in the theater, I mean, you can walk out if you want to, but
at that point
you have control over your body. Like God he gave us that control. That's what free will is. We talk about that, and stuff like that. You have control over everything that you do for your body. And that's from what you see, what you hear, what you taste, what you smell, any aspect of your body you have control over, whether you cut your hair, let it go long, whatever. And you have that choice. Nobody, no religion, no person can make those choices for you. You make them for yourself. And you should make it on a sound decision that you've prayed about it and you've asked God if this is the way that you should go, and
That's
stuff
right.
like that. And the Holy Spirit will guide you in that moment, of question, so.
That's right. You have the tools, you have the resource, the Holy Spirit. You have the resource to guide you in every way in that aspect.
Jesus didn't say, I'm going to leave you with a Baptist church, or I'm going to leave you with the Catholic church. So he said, I'm going to leave you with the Holy Spirit.
He specifically said the Comforter.
So,
somebody's going to comfort you.
He never made religion or denominations. I meant to say he never made denominations.
It's just Jesus.
It's just Jesus.
If you follow Jesus, that's it. That's the only denomination you need to know.
Don't get hung up in that.
Don't get caught up in all that.
Yeah, don't get caught up. So
we love you. We love all the people of all denominations.
And there's nothing wrong with going to
as long as we understand that it's Jesus and that He's the way, the truth, and the life, and no one comes to the Father except through Him. And we also understand that that it's not about what you're wearing. It's not about the, how long your dress is or what you're wearing on your head,
piercings or tattoos.
Piercings or tattoos. If God brought Paul out of destruction, brought Saul out of destruction and created him and changed him into the man that we know as Paul, like, what makes you think a murderer can't be forgiven when you've been forgiven? Like, just be forgiven. Be forgiven. Forgive yourself. Be forgiven. But really, like, if there's anything I want you to know, is that take control over your thoughts by the authority that he gave you.
Invested in you.
It's not by your authority and your power.
No.
It's by his power and authority. Because at the end of the day, if you're feeling weak, what God says in those moments is he says flee.
Yeah.
He says flee from
literally
sin.
Run.
Literally run.
If you're at the beach, run to your car.
Yeah. if you are overwhelmed by a temptation, leave.
Yeah.
It's not something it's not a battle you're supposed to win. You're supposed to leave. You're supposed to think off of those things.
Yeah.
Like, so for you, make it personal with you and Holy Spirit, because at the end of the day, God told us to flee from sin, flee from the things that are taking away, that are enticing us away and pulling us away from God. Yeah. But your mind, man, it's so important that you understand that you are not your thoughts. You are not your thoughts.
Nope.
You can say to that thought, no, no, I'm not accepting that. I will not accept that.
Mm-hmm. We're not robots.
We're not robots. And we can choose, what we want to understand, what we want to accept as our, what's for us and what is ours.
Yeah.
And take hold and possess that, hold possession to that.
Mm-hmm.
It's so important, y'all. Yeah. So, that's it.
That's it.
That's pretty much it, y'all. Yep, season 3 just kicked off. So we're going to have some more for y'all. And we have a TikTok now, y'all. So please join us on TikTok, man. Y'all gotta show us how to do this TikTok thing, okay? We're trying, and we're gonna learn. We're gonna learn this TikTok thing. But y'all gotta show us. Y'all gotta guide us through that process. But we are on TikTok, so follow us at the same Grist Family Podcast on TikTok. If you are on our Facebook, you'll see us periodically post, but don't wait for us to post it on our Facebook. Please go to our TikTok. It's right here. Yeah. And just be looking for some new stuff. And we're excited to see y'all more in the rest of season 3.
Yeah.
All right. Love you.
Love you.
Later.
Peace.